Hello students, my name is Nagarjuna KG, lecturer in physics at Gopalaswamy Sishuvihara Independent PU College, Mysore. And today I am going to explain the center of mass concept from class 11 in a chapter System of Particles and Rotational Motion. Here center of mass is a point. Every point must have the coordinates. So first of all, what is meant by center of mass? Center of mass is nothing but it is a point either within the material or outside the material. So center of mass is a point at which entire mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated, and this center of mass describes the motion of entire body, especially translatory motion. Whenever an external force is applied on center of mass, the entire body undergoes translational motion. So that our present topic is center of mass. So center of mass is a point at which entire mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated, and coordinates of center of mass. First of all, let us take the two particle system. Let us assume that along the x direction, let us imagine the two particle system, that is first particle of mass m1 and second particle of mass m2. Here let us also imagine that center of mass Cm, center of mass of these two particle system is located on the line joining the two masses, and here d1 is the distance of m1 from the center of mass, and d2 is the distance of m2 from the center of mass. Here total distance is assumed as, that is distance between two masses m1 and m2 is assumed as r. So in this case one important point is there here. This distance, that is center of mass divides the particles always in the inverse ratio of their masses. That is, according to that distance d1, so d1 is inversely proportional to m1 and d2 is inversely proportional to m2, because center of mass divides the line joining the two particles in the ratio of that is inverse ratio of masses, or we can write here m is inversely proportional to d, or m1 d1 is equal to m2 d2. So from here let us also imagine that x1 is the distance of m1 from the origin, and xcm is the distance of center of mass from the origin, and then x2 is the distance of the particle of mass m2 from the origin. In terms of x1, x2 and m1, m2, coordinates of center of mass can be written as, so xcm in the diagram, xcm can be written as m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. If the system is considered along the x direction, so we know that along the x axis y coordinate is 0, and here y coordinates of center of mass is 0. Similarly, see if we can consider multi particles. For example, if a system contains n particles, n particles of masses m1, m2, m3, m4 and so on mn, and they are located at a distances x1, x2, x3 and so on xn, then you can write it as coordinates of center of mass, x coordinate. So xcm can be written as m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus and so on plus mn xn divided by m1 plus m2 plus and so on plus mn, or This can also be written as, so xcm can be written as summation I is equal to 1 to n mixi divided by summation I is equal to 1 to n mi, or denominator is summation x is equal to 1 to n mi is m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus, that is total mass of the system. Individual masses m1, m2, m3 are the individual masses of the particles, and capital M is the total mass of system. So summation I is equal to 1 to n mixi. This is along the x-axis. Suppose in space, if the system is considered in space, in space 3 coordinates, similarly xcm as it is, so ycm, zcm also we can write similarly. So 1 by m, capital M, into summation I is equal to 1 to n, so miyi, or this can also be written as ycm is equal to m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 plus and so on plus mn yn divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3 and so on plus mn. Similarly, so zcm, that is z coordinate of center of mass is written as 1 divided by capital M into summation I is equal to 1 to n mizi. These are the, suppose if the discrete particles if we consider. For example, if mass is distributed continuously, then same formulas can be written as, so xcm, this is for continuous mass distribution, 1 by capital M integral dm into x, xcm. ycm can be written as 1 by capital M into integral dm into y, dm y, mi, yi, so like that. Similarly, zcm. So zcm can be written as 1 by m integral dm into z, or this can also be written as integral dm z divided by integral dm. So this is for the continuous mass distribution. Position vector of center of mass. Here RCM bar is equal to M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar plus and so on plus Mn Rn bar divided by M1 plus M2 plus and so on plus Mn, where R1 bar is equal to x1 into I cap plus y1 into j cap plus z1 into k cap, and R2 bar is equal to m1 into R2 bar is equal to, say here, x2 into I cap plus y2 into j cap plus z2 into k cap. Similarly, so and so on, Rn bar is equal to xn into I cap plus yn into j cap plus zn into k cap, where x1, y1, z1 are the coordinates of a particle of mass m1, and x2, y2, z2 are the coordinates of a particle of mass m2, and so on. And next one is velocity of center of mass. Velocity of center of mass. Say here Vcm is equal to d by dt of Rcm, So that can be written as m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus and so on plus mn vn divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus and so on plus mn. This is a differentiation, m1 v1, or always we can write 1 by capital M into summation I is equal to 1 to n into mivi. That format here also we can use. And next one is ACM, acceleration of center of mass. So d by dt of Vcm, that is equal to, differentiating this formula differentiating VCM. So we can get M1A1 plus M2A2 plus and so on plus MNAN divided by M1 plus M2 plus and so on plus Mn. So this is and now denominator value is capital M. By cross multiplication we can write it as M into ACM is equal to M1A1 plus M2A2 plus and so on plus MNAN. So according to Newton's second law, we know that MA is equal to F. So that implies MACM can also be written as M1A1. M1A1 is the force acting on the first particle, that is F1. M2A2 is the force acting on the second particle, that is F2, and so on, that is equal to, so Fn, or this F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus and so on plus Fn can be written as net external force, that is F external. So according to Newton's second law of motion, we can write it as F external is equal to M into ACM. This is, so it means for the center of mass, Newton's second law is applicable. Newton's second law is applicable only for center of mass. For example, if F external is equal to 0, no external force is acting on the system, then M into ACM is equal to 0. But M never equal to 0. Mass 0. Mass 0 means no substance, no body. So that mass never be 0 and ACM is equal to 0. So ACM can be written as ACM is equal to d by dt of VCM, that is equal to, so d that is equal to 0, 0, or dVCM is equal to 0 or VCM is equal to constant. So this is acceleration, and whenever an external force acting on a system or a body 0, then acceleration of center of mass is equal to 0 and velocity is constant. Velocity is constant. Now I am going to explain few special cases, very simple formulas. Suppose where the center of mass is located. For example, let us take here two circular discs of same material. Two circular discs of same material placed in contact. So let us assume that a first disc of radius R1, second disc of radius R2. When these two discs are placed in contact, then where the center of mass is located? Usually we know that center of mass is always nearer to heavier mass. When one particle, one body of lesser mass and another body of mass, heavier mass, when put in closed or anywhere, usually center of mass of two particles, different masses. Let us assume that M1 and M2, and here M2 is greater than M1. So definitely center of mass of this two particle system is very close to center of the second disk. Here M1, mass of the first disk, can be written as pi r1 square t into rho, where rho is the density, and M2 is equal to pi r2 square t into rho. Let us imagine that the center of first disk, that is R1, center of first disk is imagined at the origin. Suppose if it is imagined at the origin, then distance of M1 from the origin, that is x1 is equal to 0, let us take an assumption, and x2 is equal to R1 plus R2. From xcm is equal to M1 x1 plus M2 x2 divided by M1 plus M2. By substituting these values, I am writing directly here. So R2 square into R1 plus R2 divided by R1 square plus R2 square. Similarly, in the place of discs, if we consider the spheres, here R1 one sphere radius, R2 second sphere radius. So here R2 is greater than R1. So automatically M2 is greater than M1. So M2, M1. In this case, I am writing directly here similar to this, similar to the first case. So XCM can be written as R2 cube into R1 plus R2 divided by R1 cube plus R2 cube. R1 cube plus R2 cube. And finally, lastly, shift of center of mass. Suppose shift of center of mass. Let us consider a uniform body, a rectangular plate, we assume that here, and from this usually when symmetrical shapes, center of mass is located at the geometric center for the symmetrical shapes. And here from this let us imagine that capital M is the mass of this sheet. From this sheet a certain mass is removed. For example, if certain mass is removed, say for example small m, a small portion is removed. Here a small portion is removed, and we also imagine that C2 is the center of mass of the removed portion. When certain mass is removed, definitely center of mass shifts to somewhere. Let us imagine that center of mass of the remaining mass is shifted from C to C1. Here this is C1 coordinates x shift comma 0 minus along negative x direction. This we assume that original center of mass is imagined at origin. So 0 comma 0. And C2, let us take here D is the distance of center of the removed portion from the original center of mass. From here, that is C is imagined at the origin, and C1 is equal to minus x shift comma 0. C2 is equal to D comma 0 coordinates, and M1 is assumed as M1. So removed mass. So M1 is removed mass, and M2 is assumed as remaining mass. Capital M minus small m is the remaining mass. So from XCM is equal to M1 x1 plus M2 x2 divided by M1 plus M2. By substituting here, I am writing directly here M into D divided by capital M minus small m is the formula. So whenever where small m is the removed mass, capital M is total mass, capital M minus small m is remaining mass. So whenever certain portion of the mass is removed from a given body, so shift of center of mass. Yes, now I am going to explain the numerical questions. See the first question. The center of mass of a system of two particles divides the distance between them. So very first synopsis, I explained the inverse ratio. So first question solution for the first question is inverse ratio, that is m1 divided by m2 is equal to d2 divided by d1. So that option D is the right option. Inverse ratio of masses of particles. So second question, three masses are placed at the x-axis, 300 grams at origin, 500 grams at x is equal to 40 centimeter, and 400 grams at x is equal to 70 centimeter. The distance of the center of mass from the origin is, see here, center of mass, second question, XCM is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. Here three particles are given, so that we can take m3 x3 also, denominator m3, that is equal to first particle is placed at origin, that is 300 grams is placed at origin, so that x1 is equal to 0, 300 into 0 plus second particle of mass 500 grams is placed at x is equal to 40 centimeters. Therefore, 500 into 40 centimeters plus third particle of mass 400 grams is placed at x is equal to 70 centimeters whole divided by 300 plus 500 plus 400. Here no need to conversion of units here because all the quantities are given in CGS system. So no need of any conversion. 500 into this is first term 0 plus 500 into 40 is 20,000 plus 400 into 70 is 28,000 whole divided by 1200 denominator. So that is equal to 48,000 divided by 1200. So both numerator and denominator, two zeros were cancelled here. 480 by 12. 480 by 12 is nothing but 40 centimeters. So 40 centimeters is option B is the right option. Next, question number 3. The center of mass of a system of two particles of masses m1 and m2 is at a distance d1 from m1 and at a distance d2 from mass m2 such that, so this first question I wrote already, this is the answer for the third question also, that is inverse ratio. Center of mass always divides the line joining the two particles in the inverse ratio of their masses. So that as for the options, d1 by d2 is equal to m2 by m1, option B is the right option for question number 3. Option B is the right option. Same, this is the formula for third question also. Next, fourth question. Two particles of mass 1 kg and 3 kg have position vectors 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap and minus 2i cap plus 3j cap minus 4k cap respectively. The center of mass has a position vector. So in the synopsis I explained to you already, position vector of center of mass RCM bar is equal to m1 r1 bar plus m2 r2 bar divided by m1 plus m2. So by substituting m1 r1 values, in this fourth question m1 is given 1 kg and m2 is given 3 kg. So that 1 into R1 bar is given 2i plus 3j plus 4k. 2i plus 3j plus 4k plus 3 m2 into R2 bar is given minus 2 plus 3 minus 4 minus 2i plus 3j minus 4k cap. This is R2 bar that is given in the question. Divided by m1 plus m2, that is equal to 1 plus 3. So that is equal to here, see in the first vector 1 into 2, 2, the second term 3 into minus 2, 3 into minus 2 is minus 6, 2 minus 6, 2 minus 6 is minus 4 into I cap, and j, here 3j, 3 into 3, 9j, 3j plus 9j, that is equal to 12j cap, and k coefficients. Here 4, 3 into 4, 3 into minus 4, that is minus 12. So 3 minus 12 is minus 8 k cap, and denominator 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. So cancellation. So here 4 1s, 4 3s, 4 2s. So therefore RCM bar can be written as minus I cap plus 3j cap minus 2k cap is our answer. Check the options. Minus I cap plus 3j cap minus 2k cap. So option C is the right option. Option C is correct answer. Next, fifth question. See, the diagram is given in question number 5. 3 identical spheres, each of mass 1 kg, are kept as shown in figure, touching each other with their centers on a straight line, if their centers are marked P, Q, R respectively. The distance of center of mass of the system from P is. See, in the question number 5, 3 spheres. So one sphere center is coincide with origin, and second all the 3 are placed This is P, second one is Q, and third one, all the three are placed in contact, R. Then what is the center of mass? Distance of center of mass of the system from P. Let us here first P, center of P is coincides with origin. So x1 is assumed as 0, and center of the second sphere Q, that is x2 is equal to PQ, and x3 third point R, center of R is at a distance PR. All the three spheres have same mass because it is given three identical spheres, each of mass 1 kg, each of mass 1 kg. So that xcm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3, that is equal to 1 into 0 plus 1 into PQ plus 1 into x3 is PR divided by 1 plus 1 plus 1. So first term 0, second term PQ, third term PR divided by 3 is the answer. So PQ plus PR divided by 3, that is option B is the right option. So option B is the right option for question number 5. Next, question number 6. If the external forces acting on a system have a zero resultant, the center of mass, just in the synopsis I explained already, if the external force acting on the system is 0. Sixth question. F external is equal to m into ACM if it is equal to 0. M never be 0. So acceleration of center of mass is 0 and VCM is equal to constant. These two options. Check the options here. First option, must not move wrong because center of mass is moving with constant velocity. Second option, must not accelerate, that is right. Must not accelerate means ACM is equal to 0, correct. And option C, may move is also correct. So option B right, option C right. So check the option D, both B and C. So that here the correct option is D. Correct option is D for the sixth question. Next, question number 7. A cylinder is completely filled with water. If 1/4 of the volume of water leaks out, its center of mass. It is simple, it is also explained. When the water, so in a cylindrical container, water leaks out slowly. So level of water is going to decrease slowly. Level of water is going to decrease is nothing but more mass is shifted towards the bottom side. So automatically move down. Center of mass is also moves downwards. Moves downwards. Because center of mass is always nearer to the heavier mass. So here the seventh question, move down, option B. Option B is the right option. Next, eighth question. When an external force is applied at the center of mass of system of particles, then it undergoes, it is also I explained already, only translatory. When external force, only translatory motion. When external force is applied on center of mass, entire body undergoes translatory motion. Next, ninth question. Two balls are thrown simultaneously in air. The acceleration of the center of mass of the two balls while in air. Once the particles thrown into air, accelerations, that is A1 is equal to G and A2, both the bodies accelerations becomes acceleration due to gravity. So therefore ACM formula, ACM is equal to M1 A1 plus M2 A2 divided by M1 plus M2 is the formula. By substituting here, that implies, see M1 A1 G, A2 also G, so that we can write ACM is equal to M1 plus M2 into G is common, the numerator, denominator m1 plus m2. Denominator is m1 plus m2. So numerator denominator m1 plus m2 is cancelled. So that implies ACM is equal to G only. So our answer is, for question number 9, our answer is A, option A is equal to G. Next, 10th question. A body of mass m is standing on a block of mass capital M kept on a rough surface. When the boy walks from left to right on the block, the center of mass, boy plus block system. So in 10th question, first you should understand the situation, and if possible you should draw the diagram for the given situation. When you can draw the diagram for any question, that question is turned into presentation, text to presentation. So that here, as per the question, a block, on a block a boy is walking, or a boy walks from left to right in this direction, from left to right along the block. When boy walks from left to right, automatically block will move in the opposite direction, recoil. Block will move in opposite direction. When block starts moving in opposite direction, frictional force comes into play opposite to motion of the block. So F. Here in this situation, F is only the external force. Whenever external force is applied on center of mass moves along the direction of external force according to Newton's second law. So therefore block moves, our entire system moves towards right. Towards right is the answer. Check the options. Shifts towards right, that is option D. Option D is the right option. Next, question number 11. Consider a two-particle system with particles having masses m1 and m2. If the first particle is pushed towards the center of mass through a distance d, by what distance should the second particle be moved so as to keep the center of mass at the same position? So in the 11th question, let us first assume that the two particles are located at m1 and m2, and Cm is the center of mass. Let us assume that here r1 is the distance of m1 from the center of mass, r2 is the distance of center of mass from m2. And in the next case, when m1 is displaced towards the center of mass by a distance d, to maintain the same position for center of mass, to what distance m2 should be moved? That is the question. This is m2. Let us assume that m2 should be moved by a distance d dash. Then what is d dash? That is our question now. Here initially m1 and cm distance is r1. Now d is reduced. So here it is r1 minus d, distance of center of mass from m1, and here r2 minus d dash. R2 minus d dash is the distance of m2 from center of mass. So in both the cases, center of mass positions are same. So therefore we can equate both. M1 R1 is equal to M2 R2 is the original formula. In the second case, if this formula is applied to the second case, or let us assume it is equation 1. For the second case, M1 into R1 minus D is equal to M2 into R2 minus D dash. This we assumed as equation 2. So 2 divided by 1, equation 2 is divide. Equation 2 divides with equation 1. Then see here m1 cancel, m2 cancel. Then r1 minus d divided by r1, that is equal to r2 minus d divided by r2. Or this can also be written as 1 minus d by r1 is equal to 1 minus d by r2. Both sides 1 cancel, minus also cancel both sides. So the remaining is here this is d and it is d dash. D by r1 is equal to d dash by r2 remaining. So that d dash by d is equal to d dash by d is equal to r2 by r1. R2 divided by r1. So r that implies d dash is equal to r2 by r1 into d. But we know that here what is r2 by r1 from equation 1? From 1, r2 by r1 is equal to m1 divided by m2 from equation 1. Therefore our answer is d dash is equal to m1 divided by m2 into d. D dash is equal to m1 by m2 into d. So check the options once. For 11th question, d dash is equal to m1 by m2 into d. Option D, fourth option. Option D is the correct answer. Next, 12th question. Two persons 60 kg and 80 kg are sitting at the ends of a boat of mass 60 kg and length 4 meters. The boat is stationary. If the men now exchange their positions, then yes, 12th question, see solution. Two persons 60 kg and 80 kg are sitting at the ends. Let us assume here this is a boat of mass 60 kg and length 4 meters. Length of a boat is 4 meters. Here one person is sitting or standing, whatever it may be, and here second person is like this. This is the situation. One person is moving in this direction and second person is moving in opposite direction. This is the situation. And if the men now exchange their positions, then so nothing is asked in this question. We should find out which option is the right option. Here position, let us m1 r1 plus m2 r2 plus m3 r3 is equal to 0, where r13 is the position of first person with respect to boat. 3 is boat, 1 first person, 2 second person, 1 second person, boat 3. R13, that is r1 bar minus r3 bar, that is equal to 4 into I cap. First person is shifted to second end, so that is 4 meters along x direction, positive x direction. And r23 bar is equal to r2 bar minus r3 bar. The second person is moving in negative x axis, towards the negative x axis. Or from here we can write r1 bar is equal to 4 plus r3 bar. Here r1 bar is equal to 4 plus r3 bar. And similarly here r2 bar is equal to minus 4, that side already there. Here r3 becomes plus. So therefore r3 bar minus 4. Now if substituting all these values, masses r1, r2, r3 values by substituting, therefore m1 is given 60 kg. 60 into r1 is equal to r1 4 plus r3 plus second person mass is given 80 kg. 80 into r3 minus 4 plus boat mass is given 60 r3 is equal to 0. Now 60 into 4, 240 plus 60 r3 plus 80 r3 minus 320 plus 60 r3 is equal to 0. See, check here, 320 minus 320 and 240, and here 60 plus 80, 140, 140 plus 60, 200. So that implies 200 R3 is equal to 80. Minus 320 plus 240 minus 80, that side it becomes plus 80. And 1 0 cancel, 2 10s are 2 4s are. So that implies R3 is equal to 4 by 10 or 0.4 meters, where R3 is the position of the boat, position of a boat. So that option A is the right option. That is, the boat moves by 0.4 meters. Option A is the right option. Next, 13th question. A child is sitting at one end of a long trolley, moves with an uniform speed v on a smooth horizontal track. If the child starts running towards the other end of the trolley with a speed u with respect to trolley, the speed of the center of mass of the system is. See, options are given. First option v minus u, second option u plus v, third option v, fourth option none of these. So usually students, remember please, whenever none of these options are given in any questions, you think about that option. Why none of these is given? So in this case, there is no external force acting on the system. Child is sitting on one end of the trolley, moving with uniform speed v on a smooth horizontal track. So earlier I explained one question. In that frictional force comes into play. Frictional force, that is the external force. But here there is no external force acting on the system, so that speed of center of mass is 0. When there is no external force acting on the system, center of mass, speed of center of mass is equal to 0, but there is no option 0, so that none of these is the right option. That is option D. So 13th question, option D is the right option. The reason is F external is equal to 0. No external force is acting on the system. Next, 14th question. Two masses m1 is equal to 1 kg and m2 is equal to 2 kg are connected by a light inextensible string and suspended by means of a weightless pulley as shown in the figure. Assume that both the masses starts from rest. The distance travelled by the center of mass in 2 seconds is, take g is equal to 10 meter per second square. So in 14th question, Atwood's machine diagram is given. On a frictionless pulley, two masses are suspended like this. This arrangement, when two masses are suspended by means of a string over the pulley, this arrangement is called Atwood's machine. So in case of Atwood's machine, acceleration is equal to m1 difference m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into g is the acceleration due to gravity. Both the one mass is moving in the downward direction. So a2 is equal to a and a1 is equal to minus a. a1 is equal to a2 is equal to a. Both the particles are moving in opposite directions. So that ACM is equal to m1 a1 plus m2 a2 divided by m1 plus m2. But here a1 is equal to a2 is equal to a, opposite directions. So m1 into minus a, m1 into minus a plus m2 into a divided by m1 plus m2, or m1 minus m2 or m2 minus m1, both. m2 minus m1, or you can take it as minus m1 plus m2 into a divided by m1 plus m2. So a is equal to, by substituting a value here, we can get, therefore ACM can be written as m2 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m2 whole square into g. By substituting a value in this formula, so we can get final answer. That is equal to, here answer m2 is given 2 kg and m1 is given 1 kg. So that 2 minus 1 divided by 2 plus 1 whole square into g. that is equal to 1 divided by denominator value 3. 3 square is nothing but 9. So 1 by 9 into G. 1 by 9 into G is the answer. This is a ACM. Now one more line is given. Assume that both the masses starts from rest. So initial velocity. Therefore here distance travelled from S is equal to ut plus half at square u0. So that is 0 plus first term, and A is equal to ACM. ACM is equal to 9 by G. 1 by 2 into G by 9 into T square. G is given 10. So that implies S is equal to 1 by 2 into 10 by 9 into T square. T is also given 2 seconds. So directly you can write here 2 into 2. T is given 2 seconds. So 2 cancel, 20 by 9. 20 by 9 meters is the answer. So 20 by 9 is option B. Option B is the right option. Next question, that is question number 15. Two particles which are initially at rest move towards each other under the action of their initial attraction. If their speeds are v1 and v2 at any instant, then the speed of center of mass of the system will be. So in this question also, there is no external force acting on the system. It is clearly mentioned, two particles are moving due to the action of their internal attraction. Internal attraction cannot provide the motion in the center of mass. So our answer is 0. That is option C is the right option. Next, 16th question. When a force is applied on a body, Newton's second law is applicable to only center of mass, that I explained already in the synopsis. 17th question. If linear density of a rod of length 3 meters varies as lambda is equal to 2 plus x, then the position of the center of gravity of the rod is. 17th question. Lambda is given as 2 plus x. Lambda is nothing but linear mass density. dm by dx is equal to 2 plus x, or that is equal to dm, that implies dm is equal to 2 plus x into dx. 2 plus x into dx. We know that xcm is equal to integral, and it is clearly mentioned in the 17th question, linear density of the rod of length 3 meters. So limits 0 to 3. Dm into x divided by integral 0 to 3 dm, that is equal to integral 0 to 3. So 2 plus x into x dx divided by integral 0 to 3 2 plus x into dx, dm value. So by integrating this 2x dx first term, integral 0 to 3, plus second term integral 0 to 3 x square dx divided by integral 0 to 3 2 dx plus integral 0 to 3 x square dx, x dx. So here that implies 2x square by 2 first term. So xcm is equal to 2x square by 2 limits 0 to 3 plus second term x cube by 3 limits 0 to 3 divided by here 2 into dx, 2 into x limits 0 to 3 plus x square by 2 0 to 3. So here 2 cancel, that is equal to 9 plus 9, 3 cube. 3 cube is nothing but 27. 27 by 3. 27 by 3 is 9 divided by here 2 into 3 only 6. 6 plus, and here 3 square 9, 9 by 2. 9 divided by 2. So that is equal to 18 divided by 12 plus 9 by 2. 2 goes to numerator. So that is equal to 36 divided by 21. 36 divided by 21, or this can be written as 3 12 3 7 So that xcm is equal to 12 by 7 meters. 12 by 7 meters, that is option A. Option A is the right option. Next, 18th question. The center of mass of a system of 3 particles of masses 1 gram, 2 gram and 3 gram is taken as the origin of the coordinate system. The position vector of a 4th particle of mass 4 grams such that the center of mass of the 4 particle system lies at the point 1, 2, 3 is alpha into I cap plus 2 j cap plus 3 k cap, where alpha is a constant. The value of alpha is, so in this question 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 gram, 3 particle center of mass is coincides with origin, and when the 4th particle of mass 4 kg, when it is placed the center of mass of 4 particle system 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 gram, 4 grams, center of mass is given 1, 2, 3 and position vector of 4th particle is also given in the question. So that for 4 particle system, this is question number 18. For 4 particle system, we can write it as xcm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 plus m4 x4 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4. So that is equal to first 3 particles center of mass is given 0 origin, and 4th particle mass 4 and x4 coordinates of 4th particle are given alpha into 1. So alpha divided by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 4 alpha divided by, so 3 plus 3 6 so 10. This is given, xcm for 4 particles is given 1. So that is or alpha is equal to 10 by 4, that is equal to 5 by 2. Alpha is equal to 5 by 2. So similarly YCM also, YCM ZCM by equate here, YCM is equal to 0 plus 4 into y coordinate of 4 grams is given, y coordinate of 4 grams is given 2. So 4 into 2 alpha, 4 into 2 alpha divided by denominator same, that is 8 alpha by 10. Here it is given 2. So for YCM 2 is equal to 8 alpha by 10, same we will get. Even from ZCM also we will get. So finally no need to go through YCM and ZCM because alpha is getting same 5 by 2 either through XCM or YCM or ZCM. Next, 19th question. Particles of masses m, 2m, 3m, and so on nm grams are placed on the same line at distances L, 2L, 3L, and so on NL centimeters from a fixed point. The distance of center of mass of the particles from the fixed point in centimeters is. Question number 19. XCM is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus and so on plus mn xn divided by m1 plus m2 plus and so on plus mn. So by substituting here, m1 is given m, x1 is L, 2m into 2L plus 3m into 3L plus and so on plus nm into nl whole divided by m plus 2m plus 3m plus and so on plus nm. And see here, that is equal to ml is taken as common, 1 plus 2 into 2 4, or you can write it as 2 square, 4 or 2 square. Here 3 into 3, 3 into 3, 3 square, 4 square and so on plus n square last term divided by denominator. If m is taken as common, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus and so on plus n. So observe here, m cancel and numerator is 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus and so on plus n square, that is a sum of the squares of first n natural numbers. Sum of the squares of first n natural numbers numerator. Denominator is sum of the n natural numbers. So we know the formulas here. L into sum of the squares of first n natural numbers, n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. This is the numerator value. Divided by denominator is sum of the n natural numbers, first n natural numbers. So this I can written as, actually formula is n into n plus 1 by 2. N into n plus 1 by 2, but it is there in denominator, that's why I can write 2 divided by n into n plus 1. See here, n plus 1 cancel, 2 1s are 2 3s are. So the remaining is xcm is equal to 2n plus 1 into L divided by 3 is the answer. So that is option B. Question number 20. 2 point masses capital M each are placed at L comma 0 and minus L comma 0. A third point mass capital M is uniformly rotating on the circle x square plus y square is equal to L square. Equation of part traced by center of mass of system is. See, in the question number 20, two particles are rotated along the circumference of a circle of radius L. So circle equation is given here. This is origin. Let us assume even y-axis also. So this is first mass. One mass is at L comma 0 on positive x direction. Second mass is at minus L comma 0, and these two particles are rotated along the circular path, that is also given. So x square plus y square is equal to L square. It is the equation of circle. And now another third mass. Third mass is rotated along this circle. Third mass is rotating along the circle. Then what is the path of center of mass of the three particle system? For convenient, let us assume that third mass is also at on positive x-axis, m plus m, if we imagine two masses. Now xcm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2, or that implies xcm. Let us assume that m1 is equal to capital M and x1 is 0. Let us imagine that. So forget here the center. This first point is assumed as origin, and second 2m are at a distance of L plus L, 2L. So plus 2m into 2L divided by m plus 2m. So that implies xcm is equal to 4ml divided by 3m. m cancel. So that is equal to 4L divided by 3. This is a center of mass from the first here, from this position, center of mass. So from the origin, 4L from origin. So from origin, xcm can be written as 4L by 3 minus L, that is equal to L by 3. So that here L by 3, that is center of mass of the three particle system. Center of mass of the three particle system is rotating along the circle of radius L by 3. So according to equation of circle, x square plus y square is equal to r square, where r is the L by 3 whole square, that is equal to L square by 9. So option D is the right option. Change in the center of mass of the remaining portion, remaining mass. So that 0, that is option B is the right option. 22, option B is the right option. Center of the removed portion and center of the original portion are coincide. in this situation, no change in the position of center of mass. And next 23rd question. The center of mass of a non-uniform rod of length capital L whose mass per unit length lambda varies as lambda is equal to kx square by L, where k is a constant and x is the distance of any point on rod from its one end is. Here we discussed already question number 17. This model is question number 17 and question number 23 are similar models. So lambda is given, lambda is equal to dm by dx, that is given kx square by L, kx square by L. So therefore xcm is equal to integral, here the limits are 0 to L, 0 to L dm into x divided by integral 0 to L dm, that is equal to integral 0 to L dm is equal to kx square L into dx into x divided by integral 0 to L kx square L into dx. So that is numerator, that implies xcm is equal to integral 0 to L kx cube by L into dx divided by integral 0 to L kx square L into dx, that is equal to, so k we can write outside and remaining k by L we can write outside, x cube dx is x power 4 by 4 numerator, limits 0 to L divided by denominator k by L, and here x cube by 3 here, x cube divided by 3 limits 0 to L. See k by L cancel, and L power 4 by 4, L cube by 3. So L power 4 numerator, L cube denominator, so one L remaining in numerator, and 1 by 4, so 3L by 4 total. By simplifying it, can write directly 3 by 4L is the answer. 3 by 4L, that is option B. Option B is the right option. Yes, question number 24. From the circular disc of radius 4r, two small disc of radius capital R are cut off. The center of mass of the new structure will be. See, diagram is given in this question 24. From a circular plate of radius 4r, circular plate of radius 4r, two small discs of radius, each radius r. One is along the x direction and another one is along the y direction. Two circular plates are removed. Then what happens the position of center of mass? That is the question. Here total radius 4r, out of this r is removed, then remaining distance is 3r. Here let us assume that mass is directly proportional to radius square for the circular plate. Mass is directly proportional to radius square. So first one, complete plate. Before remove the circular plates, m1 is directly proportional to 4r square, that is equal to 16r square, r you can assume as 16m. And small portions, m2 is directly proportional to r square, so m2, that implies m2 is equal to m, and m3 is also directly proportional to r square, so m3 is also equal to m. Now xcm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3, or that implies xcm is equal to m1 is now 16m, and center of the original disc, center of mass is coincides with the origin, so that 16 mass is at origin, minus y minus is taken here, it is removed mass, minus is nothing but removed mass, minus m into 3r, this one this is m2 and this is m3. Along x direction, x coefficient 3 or y coefficient 0. For this third mass, x coefficient 0. So minus m into 0, because this third piece is on the y axis. On y axis, x coordinate 0. So divided by 16m minus m minus m. So that is equal to minus 3mr divided by 16 minus 2, 14m. m cancel. So minus 3r by 14. This is xcm. Similarly, ycm also we can get the same number, minus 3r by 14. So that rcm bar can be written as xcm into I cap plus ycm into j cap. That is the position vector of center of mass. So that implies rcm bar can be written as minus 3r by 14 into I cap minus 3r by 14 into j cap. So rcm bar can be written as minus 3r by 14 into I cap plus j cap is the answer. So that is, no option is there. So that none of these the answer, that is option D. This answer is not given in the 4 options. So none of these is the right answer. Students, today I explained the center of mass concept along with the synopsis and numericals, and in the next class I am going to explain rotational dynamics concept, synopsis as well as numerical questions. So today class I am going to end the class now. Bye students. Thank you very much.